This is the land that once thrived with peace and hope. A land that held dreams of families, joy, and unity. But today it is a land torn apart. For decades, innocent lives have been shattered. Children have lost their laughter and families have been ripped apart. The heavy burden of occupation weighs down the spirits of an entire people. The laughter of these children is stifled by fear and uncertainty. They deserve a future free from oppression, yet they are born into a life marked by violence. Around the world, people stand with them, raising their voices in solidarity. They call for an end to the illegal occupation and for peace to prevail. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is an ongoing military and political conflict about land and self-determination within the territory of the former Mandatory Palestine. Key aspects of the conflict include the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip, the status of Jerusalem, Israeli settlements, borders, security, water rights, the permit regime, Palestinian freedom of movement, and the Palestinian right of return. The 1948 Palestine War was fought in the territory of what had been, at the start of the war, British-ruled Mandatory Palestine. During the war, the British withdrew from Palestine. Zionist forces conquered territory and established the State of Israel, and over 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled. It was the first war of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader Arab-Israeli conflict. The war had two main phases, the first being the 1947 to 1948 Civil War, which began on 30 November 1947, a day after the United Nations voted to adopt the partition plan for Palestine, which planned for the division of the territory into Jewish and Arab sovereign states. During this period, the British still maintained a declining rule over Palestine and occasionally intervened in the violence. Towards the end of the Civil War phase, Zionist forces executed Plan Dalet, an offensive operation conquering territory for the planned establishment of a Jewish state. The second phase of the war began on 14 May 1948, with the termination of the British Mandate and the declaration of the establishment of the State of Israel. The following morning, the surrounding Arab armies invaded Palestine, beginning the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. The Egyptians advanced in the southeast, while the Jordanian Arab Legion and Iraqi forces captured the Central Highlands. Syria and Lebanon fought with the Israeli forces in the north. The newly formed Israel Defense Forces managed to halt the Arab forces, and in the following months began pushing them back and capturing territory. By the end of the war, the State of Israel had captured about 78% of former territory of the Mandate. The Kingdom of Jordan had captured and later annexed the area that became the West Bank, and Egypt had captured the Gaza Strip. The war formally ended with the 1949 Armistice Agreements, which established the Green Line demarcating these territories. During the war, massacres and acts of terror were conducted by and against both sides. A campaign of massacres and violence against the Arab population, such as occurred at Lydda and Ramel and the Battle of Haifa, led to the expulsion and flight of over 700,000 Palestinians, with most of their urban areas being depopulated and destroyed. This violence and dispossession of the Palestinians is known today as the Nakba and resulted in the beginning of the Palestinian refugee problem. The causes of the 1948 Palestinian exodus are a controversial topic among historians. The Palestinian refugee problem and the debate around the right of their return are also major issues of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Palestinians have staged annual demonstrations and protests on 15 May of each year. Please pray for Palestinians. Take care. Bye.